Okay. I sincerely despise AI. I I hate AI to an extreme extent. None of what you see on my screen right now exists because of AI. Uh, all the items in my Minecraft inventory, none of these things are AI. You know why? This mod pack was created before AI existed. And you know what? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, in this video, I'm going to rant about my issues about AI. This is actually the second time I'm recording this. Uh, it's the second time I'm recording this. I might have to turn off chat just so I don't get distracted. But it's the second time I'm recording this because the first time I recorded it, it was truly a rant. But I want my rant to be a little structured, so I wrote some stuff down. Not not even like a paragraph long, just an overview of what I want to cover. And I'm going to start by explaining the spark for this video. What really sent me over the edge of making this. And it's been, a long time brewing. A lot of stuff has triggered it. Certain YouTube creators who address the societal issues we're going through right now in our country, in America. Um, and that doesn't mean Europe's exempt or other locations. If you think your country isn't exempt from the issues of the US, you're just wrong. Uh, it will spread if you're not careful. I beg that you pay attention to societal issues in your country. If you can vote, you do it. You vote. Vote against AI as hard as you can. Please. Please make sure this doesn't get accepted elsewhere. I'm going to focus on the US side of things. And I'm going to focus on my personal experiences as well as my deep concerns with this issue. Uh, so, the spark of this video was a Reddit post on the Reddit Minecraft plugins. If you don't know what a Minecraft plugin is, it's basically a mod, but with less stuff in it. Uh, that's all I can really say. And the plugin was called CoinOp, which is a shit ass name because I don't even know what CoinOp does. At least with Draconic Evolution config integration, I can see that it would probably mean that it makes this thing here a thing. It makes that feature right there a thing. CoinOp doesn't mean shit. And that's probably because it was written by an AI, just like the Reddit post was. So allow me to tell you what the Reddit post was. The Reddit post started off with the sentence, yo. And then there was like a blank space. There was the paragraph wasn't separated correctly. And then he started talking about his plugin. And the format was definitely AI generated. You could tell immediately because it was basically corpo speak. However, how fucking ever they asked the AI to replace you with you and your with your. You are single you are. And they asked the AI to keep a low key tone in their post, if you know what I mean. It was a very low key post, very humble, a very humble post. Not trying to be what's the term, prideful or anything. They weren't very prideful. I need to like stop killing things for a moment. They made the post sound like they were some cool guy, you know, telling them about why their mod is so good and why why their plugin is so good and why you should install it and how easy it is. How easy it is to install a plugin that has no dependencies, guys. A plugin with no dependencies? You mean I don't have to install 2 jars 2 jar files? I don't have to put 2 jar files in a single folder for my thing to work. I just have to put 1 jar file in there? Wow, that's mind-blowing. I mean, jeez. Hey, guys, it's not hard to install dependencies. So anyways, I was so fucking angered by this guy. You can't... Look, I'm mad about people writing ads using AI in general because they all sound the same. You know, it always sucks. It always sucks. But I was mad at the audacity of him thinking that he could disguise his AI written piece of shit by having AI write it like an idiot, like he was texting to me or something. I was insulted, and frankly, I was disappointed. So I decided to do a little digging on this fucker. I went to his Modrinth page. Modrinth is a Minecraft mod download site, basically. And I went to his source code. For some reason, this guy keeps his source code public. And, you know, I can't really tell if it's AI generated because Minecraft code, it's not hard to write it, frankly. A lot of Java code is the same. It's not hard to write Java code. I would not be surprised if Minecraft modders get replaced by AI within the next 4 years. They've already replaced sprite generation. We have AI sprite generators now, guys. If you're an artist, you're already cooked. Sorry. You're already cooked. If you're a programmer, you're a little less cooked. There's stuff AI can't do yet, but you're still cooked anyways. You're still cooked. So I was looking through a source code. I couldn't tell if the source code was AI generated because Java source code is basically the same anyways in everything, especially in Minecraft mods. However, I went to his pull requests tab. I've never seen this before. He had like 8 pull requests and they were all by him. And you know why they were all by him? Well, I opened one pull request and I saw such a beautiful statement, you know. Hi, my name is AI Slopbot 5000. I'm here to assist you with this pull request. I'm going to, I will review comments, basically, is what it said. I will respond to comments. And then another AI bot was below it who said, it was an AI bot. Sorry, I'm a little gassy. It was an AI bot that went and analyzed the code to see what you're cooked. Meteors suck. Sorry, I can't type and talk at the same time. Make the MVM. Alright. So the other AI bot was basically saying, yeah, I edited these files because they had like style issues that the AI didn't like, and that was it. So if he's using these AI bots to review pull requests and make modifications to his comments, there's no way he's not also AI generating the entire plugin, right? Well, wait until you hear how many plugins he released in the last 2 months. You want to know how many it is? It's 4. He has 4 full plugins that he released in the last 2 months. It's actually an insane amount of output. The amount of output he has is insane. It's just impossible. It's impossible for a human being to release this much. So he's definitely making AI. And I comment on his post that I was really disappointed in him for thinking I was stupid enough to think I wouldn't tell his AI post was AI generated. And then he responds, "What do you want, bro?" That's it. That's it. Doesn't even deny it. And that was what made me check his repositories. So AI pisses me off particularly because if you can't tell, I love Minecraft modding. It's like the thing I live for. And it's already corrupting the ecosystem that I exist in. It's already ruining everything in this ecosystem. And I'm just beyond pissed off about that. That human beings are being just outsourced from something that should be a prideful project. You know, you should take pride in your Minecraft development projects. I take massive pride in the mods I released over the years. I've made a lot. One of the mods I have has 200,000 downloads. It gets like 10K a month. I'll get 300K downloads by the end of this year, probably. I'll be releasing updates for it. I support multiple versions at the same time. I put in a lot of effort to make my community better. And it just fucking angers me that these guys who have never written a line of code before are just going to make me irrelevant. It's going to make all of us irrelevant. I mean, they're not even going to be relevant. When you write an AI mod, I write is the wrong term. Sorry, write is the wrong fucking term. When you generate a mod, you don't even own that. You own nothing. You own none of the work that was put into that by a fucking robot. And it's just so disappointing that you would stoop so low to devalue your own intellect. So, that was the spark of this video. And now I'm just gonna get into everything else that I hate about AI. And I'm gonna start by talking about another experience I had in college. So, I graduated in 2025, and one of the last classes I had to take was in my second semester of no, my first semester of senior year. It was an AR VR programming class, and it was cooperative, so I was forced to work with other people. For the vast time, basically, I rarely had to work with others because I desperately try to avoid it in any class because I never trust anyone else. The only people I really trust in my life are a few friends and a few people online who I play with on this GTNH server and elsewhere. I only trust a few people. So it's kind of difficult for me to trust others, especially in a class where I'm being graded for their flaws, where their flaws could impact my grade, you know? It's especially important that I am careful there. So, oh god, this guy's a fucking terrorist. Um, it's especially important that I'm careful with who I work with. And unfortunately, none of my classes I ever had friends in it. I had friends in college. I had friends who took the classes I took. We just were not synced. And the reason we weren't synced was mostly because I skipped um, a first year class. And I was also taking other types of classes than my friends. So when I finally got to taking those classes, they just already had taken them, which was inconvenient. So I didn't have friends, and unfortunately, I was basically always screwed to work with random people. And in this instance, um, I got into a team with two international students, one from China and one from India. I might be remembering. I know the Chinese guy was international. The Indian guy might have been native to the US. I'm not 100% certain. I've noticed that there tends to be a higher percentage of Indian students. I'm talking about the University of Rochester, by the way. The University of Rochester is high, like at least 25% is um, Asian international students. It's very interesting. It's kind of cool about that school. So I was basically forced to work with them. And that's not a problem. I had another team with internationals who did perfectly fine. Excellent work. I mean, that's kind of a lie. They didn't finish their part of the project. I did my part. But we didn't get an F. We got like a B plus probably. So I was not upset. And they didn't use AI to generate their work. Thank God, you know? They were grad students, so they had already had experience programming for a long time, you know? So, the guys I get matched up with, I unfortunately, in this AR VR class, we were doing an AR project. Now, I have an iPhone, but I have a Windows computer. These guys had Macs and iPhones, which was tragic for me because that meant the project was going to be programmed in um, for iPhones. And you might think that's not an issue for you, but unfortunately it is. Because Apple makes you use their programming software to write code for for their devices. If you do not have a Mac, it is extremely hard to develop for an iPhone. So I couldn't write any lines of code for that class. And that was frankly depressing. It was pretty depressing that I couldn't write any lines of code for that class because of Apple's proprietary nonsense. Okay, this has been an Apple problem for forever. It's not new. It's not new to AI. It's always been an issue. I hate it. It's a talk for another video. So I couldn't write any lines of code. I would have put in a lot of work had I had the chance to. So I was delegated to editing a demonstration video for the project. And that's not bad. I don't like editing, but I would do it for a class, you know? I would edit a simple video for a class. Not hard. I just got weakness, damn it. So I edited the video. I did my part. As per usual, I did my fucking part. The other student, the Chinese one, they had to write the program. The other guy, I forget why he couldn't do it. I think he just wasn't doing a lot of work on it. I forget. I think he had some involvement. But the Chinese guy, he handled the project. I don't know if he used AI for it. I never saw the code, as far as I'm aware. It probably existed. I just never looked at it because I didn't have to. Because there was nothing I could do about it if it was bad. So he did his part. The project worked. We actually had footage for the demonstration video, which is great, you know. We had footage for a demonstration video. If we didn't have footage, I would have had nothing to do. I would have been absolutely screwed. So the other guy, the Indian student, not Native American, by the way. Let's be extremely clear here. I'm not talking about a Native American. That student was assigned to do the write-up for the project, where we explained everything we did. And when we all met up in... I forget when it was. We all met up at some point. And we went over everything we did. I showed them the video. And I saw the final program. The program was, like, finished at that point. That part was good. We took a brief look over that at the report, and we thought it was fine. I went home. I took a look at the report again, because we were going to have to submit it, I think maybe the next day or something. I don't remember. It was a pretty tight time crunch if we had to do any edits. Oh my god. Oh my god, the edits were so fucking bad. Do you know why the edits were bad? Do you want to take a guess? Do you want to take a guess why the edits were so fucking bad? It was because of AI. This piece of shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be getting so mad at other human beings, but honestly, I think we need to start shaming people who use AI for this purpose. Actually, for any purpose other than research. If you don't use AI to find truly insane revelations in research, if you use AI for anything other than bettering humanity's future, I don't want to talk to you. Like, you're just not a person to me. You're like a robot. So this piece of shit, I'm going to call him that because he fucking used AI to write this shitter. The entire thing was a massive AI hallucination. We needed a specific... The project needed a specific format, and the AI kept the format. However, it also made up sections that weren't even required in the project. It straight up created sections to the fucking project that didn't even have to be there. So it hallucinated entire things we didn't need. Um, it hallucinated things that weren't even true about the project. It made stuff up that were like blatant lies. And it also hallucinated images. We needed images in the project. There were no images in the fucking document. This guy, okay. This guy was ordered. He was you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna make it clear. He was ordered. This was his one job. You had one job to do. You had one job to do, and it was to write the fucking document. And he couldn't even do that right. He couldn't even put images in the document. He couldn't even edit the document so that it had images. Um, in the file, like after AI hallucinated everything, he couldn't even add images that fit the hallucinations. You know, he just left that shit completely unchanged. He didn't even bother. He like put in so little effort. It's less effort in than I put in like in my entire life. Well, actually, that kind of makes sense. I don't really try a lot, to be honest. I'm kind of a careless individual at times. Um, but he put in so little effort, and I, to this day, do not comprehend how a person can just have AI hallucinate an entire document, like 4 pages of trash that I have to go through and rewrite. Me and the Chinese guy were talking to each other in Discord, like, dude, this is bad. And we're just, we both agree it needs to be rewritten. And since I'm the writer of the group, you know, I'm not going to force an international student to write a document, even though they're pretty good at it, to be fair. And he had his own fucking, he had something else do that night. Like, I mean, come on, man. Be considerate of others. Be considerate of others and don't pull your fucking weight, man. So I have to rewrite the entire document. It's actually submittable now. You know, I do this like a day before the due date or something. It's actually submittable. We submit it. I should have said something to this person. I should have shamed them there because their their insolence, their foolishness is going to be what destroys our society. It is that level of carelessness that is going to be the end of us. And I should have said something to them. But I've graduated, and I don't remember their name. I don't have a way to contact them, and they won't even remember me. They probably won't even remember what they did. That's how, like, careless it is. So, I think it's a perfect transition into the next thing I wrote down on my checklist. That's the college experience for you. AI is just going to make us dumber, man. We're going to be so fucking stupid if we're not careful. I think anytime anytime I use AI, it makes me stupider. It makes me lazier. You know, when you go on Google, you look up something and the AI thing is there. You know, I've gotten into a habit of saying minus AI, not because I don't want to see the AI result. It is useful sometimes. I do it because I want to make sure I'm actually researching things. I grew up in a really fortunate place where I was born in 2002, and the elementary school I went to had computer classes, and we were taught how to type. We were taught how to use a mouse. We were taught how to control C and control V. You know, we were taught that shit in school. It's so fucking cool, man. And in the library, we were taught how to use search engines. We were taught that in school. I need a drink. Hold on. We were taught how to use search engines in school. Isn't that just the coolest shit ever? Like, holy fuck. Growing up in the 2000s was pretty sick up until this point, you know? For a moment, it was kind of cool. And then shit kind of hit the fan. You know, we had the 2009 financial crisis. We fucking bombed Afghanistan or something. I don't remember what Obama did, okay? Look, doesn't matter for this video right now. We did all that stuff. If I don't do my own research, if I depend on AI to do that, what am I going to do when AI stops working? Huh? Am I going to be able to search correctly? Can I even search correctly at this point? I mean, let's ask a real question. Is searching on Google even effective anymore? Because it's all going to be filled with AI slop if we're not careful, you know? I go on Google Images sometimes and I look up some, I don't know, look up dog. You look up dog, you're gonna have AI generated image slop in there now. I'm not even kidding. I could probably look up dog right now for this video, and I would find AI generated slop immediately. But I'm not going to, because you can do that yourself. You can search dog in Google Images, right? It's all AI, it's just gonna be slop. They're going to replace all the actual search results with slop. It's frustrating. So, not only do you lose the ability to actually Google things correctly when you start relying on Google's My AI overview, you also just get dumber using AI for other purposes. If you use AI to write your essays, you're not going to be able to write well without using AI. Have you ever considered that? Have you ever considered that if you depend on AI to write, it's basically like depending on AI to walk, but for writing? Like, can you imagine if your legs didn't work without an AI doing it for you? That's like a crazy Black Mirror episode sort of thing, but if your legs depend on AI, it's going to be a problem when the AI stops working. So AI is making us dumber in that regard. It's making us dumber in other regards too. I mean, if you're a programmer and you're depending on AI, you're definitely doing a disservice to yourself. Definitely doing a disservice. Um, if you're using AI to make Minecraft mods, you're also getting dumber. Uh, it's just another thing in that when you need to debug the issues that the AI creates for you, and the AI doesn't know how to debug it, you're going to have issues. Think about it. If the AI creates buggy code, and you ask the AI to debug the code, and it doesn't know how, it's going to be on you at that point. Don't know how else to explain it to you. So, it's making you dumber when you're doing your job. It's not only making you dumber, it's making other people dumber because they have to deal with your stupidity and they'll probably use AI to deal with it. Um, it's making, if you're using AI, it's making other people's jobs harder. You know, the people that actually give a shit. The people like me who have to rewrite an entire 5-page document that AI hallucinated shit. And it's not good. And, you know, I talked for a moment there about how AI is getting into Minecraft modding and replacing me. And I just want to get in the grand scheme of things now. Let's talk about how it's replacing everyone. It's not just me, it's not just the programmer, it's everyone. If you're a writer, people are already making AI generated books, okay? They're already doing it. At what point do we say that's fucking ridiculous and stop allowing people to sell AI generated books? Well, at what point do we say that's like a really dumb thing? Like what's the point of writing a book if you're not writing it yourself, you know? It's so just ew. It's so ew, man. It's so anti-human to do that. So it's writing books now. And you might say, okay, well, I'm a children's author. I make picture books, okay? Sorry, kiddo. Sorry. They're also replacing you. There's AI generated picture books out there now. Dr. Seuss, he doesn't even have a job anymore, okay? He's dead currently. Dr. Seuss should be grateful that he was born before this shit and he died before this shit because he would be rolling in his fucking grave. And I know he's a little bit, cringe in some respects, he's not without flaw. But if I was Dr. Seuss and I wasn't if I was Dr. Seuss, I would be pretty pissed off right now, okay? Um so picture books are getting replaced. They're already AI generating images. Um they're they're AI generating movies. They're AI generating, well, not really AI generating movies at this point, but they're trying to. They're getting there. They're AI generating actors for some reason, which doesn't make much sense. Like, uh, if why? What's the point of having an AI generated actor? Isn't the point to AI generate movies? Well, now that I think about it, I guess they're also AI generating women too. Like, if you're a woman, I'm sorry, you're being AI generated. Some guy, he's going to be jorking his peanuts to some AI generated shit now. That's the reality. Why pay for porn when AI does it for you? Heck, AI will generate porn of real people. I'm sure we all remember that X scandal where Grok straight up AI generated porn with no limits. Okay, like what the fuck? So they're replacing porn. That applies to men too. Sorry, guys, if you're a male porn star, it's also cooked for you because no one's gonna be jorking their. Okay, I think I need to bring this back to a more serious direction. Um, they're replacing humans everywhere they can. They're replacing programmers. They're replacing porn. They're replacing artists. If you make art, you're getting replaced. They're by the way, keep in mind that they're literally pirating shit and filing copyright to do this. The reason they can just do that is because they have billions of dollars, so it doesn't really have any consequences when they do it, you know? There's no consequence in pirating books when you have $1 billion. It doesn't hurt. It's not really a problem to just pirate when you have $1 billion. So they're they're replacing us, and it's all in the name of those billions of dollars. They just want more billions of dollars. And when I say they, I'm referring to like capitalism in general, like this system, the system we have in place where money is just how everything works. It's all for greed. So they're AI generating humans so that they don't have to pay them. They're AI generating code so they don't have to pay the developers. They're AI generating art, movies, etc. And it's all for greed. None of this is for the progress of humanity like they say it's supposed to be, You always hear AI will accelerate research, it'll improve lives. That's not what the situation is right now, guys. Sorry, it's just not how the situation is working. They are AI generating people so that they can save money and make money. It's really how it is. And you can say that the AI bubble is going to come and then all that money that they had is just going to get deleted. Um, but they'll get bailed out by the government. When I go bankrupt, I lose my home. But when Google goes bankrupt or Nvidia or whatever company goes bankrupt, oh no, it's no problem. Here, just take some money. We'll fix it. All your debts are fine. I have to pay thousands of dollars to go to college, and they get to AI generate some slop. That's just how it is. So these companies, they AI generate their slop, and you have to wonder, how does this slop harm us, not just in like an intellectual way, but like in a societal way? Uh, well, actually, I want to talk about health way first. Health first. You've probably heard of things like redlining and all of that racist shit from the past where we did bad things to insert race here that isn't white or poor. At this point, if you're poor, it's more like it's gone from being racist to just being more about poverty now. If you're poor, you're going to get hurt by this. If you're poor, you're basically not white at this point. It's just how it is. I'm being facetious here, just to be clear. Um, so if you're poor, you likely live in an area where it's possibly better to build AI data centers because poor people have less what's it called? They have less political power. So not they're less likely to stop you from building your AI data center right next to their house where they're going to have severe health issues as a result. These AI data centers, they need two things to work well. First of all, they need lots of computer. Actually, I was wrong. They need three things. They need lots of computer parts. So, our everything we use to play video games or develop video games or to just, be on the internet in general, all of that's getting more expensive now because of AI data centers taking all the stuff. And because they'll pay shitloads amounts of money for this shit, they're able to, get away with it. Geez, I'm like super congested right now. Okay. Everything's getting more expensive because of AI data centers because of their need for computer parts. There's also the electricity use. This in of itself is a massive issue. Uh, when you've probably heard that, I think it's Google, some company wants to build nuclear reactors solely to power AI data centers. Now, we use nuclear reactors to power certain things specifically all over the place, but it's mostly in the military. We also use nuclear power to power entire cities. Entire fucking cities are powered by nuclear reactors. We're talking AI being powered by nuclear reactors solely for the sake of AI. These reactors are being built not to power cities, but to power Grok. You know? Like, hello? What's that about, man? I love nuclear power. It's like my favorite power generation method in real life. And in GTNH too. But it scares me. It actually terrifies me that this is why nuclear reactors are being built because they're not building these reactors for the sake of bettering humanity. That's what a nuclear reactor should be for, you know? Power generation should be for the people, not for a fucking AI data center that's eating our water as well. That's number 3, mind you. Um, that shouldn't be the case. So, look, building nuclear reactors to support AI data centers, I'm a little bit less hesitant on that when it comes to using fossil fuels. However, the current administration is extremely irresponsible, and they have already taken out certain safety regulations when it comes to nuclear power. So that just means we are heading towards 3 Mile Island, but it actually happens, you know? 3 Mile Island, you might have seen, you might know about this history, but 3 Mile Island was a nuclear disaster in the US that could have been worse than Chernobyl and was 30 minutes from being a Chernobyl tier disaster. You know, if we look on the tier list of nuclear disasters, Chernobyl's at the top. 3 Mile Island would have been like top Chernobyl tier. It would have been I would probably not be alive if 3 Mile Island went as bad as it could have. So, the way I see it, the government doesn't care if a 3 Mile Island disaster happens right now. They don't give a shit. They have zero fucks to give about nuclear disasters at the moment. So I am deeply against them building more nuclear reactors at the moment, which is very weird for someone who supports nuclear power to say, you know? But I'm scared that the US government has no idea what it's doing. So why would I trust them to build a nuclear power grid of any sort? Why would I trust them? I shouldn't. No one should trust the US government on nuclear right now. But that being said, I trust them on nothing, so like if it's not going to be nuclear, what's it going to be then, right? I don't know. So that was number 2, the energy issue. Keep in mind that they are also using natural gas turbines, and these output absolutely awful chemicals into the atmosphere, which harm the local communities. Again, if you're poor, you're cooked. Sorry. I don't remember what video I saw it in, but there was a particular marginalized community that was affected by an AI data center that Elon Musk built, which was burning natural gas at an over it exceeded legal limit, which doesn't matter because he has billions of dollars, and the fine for violating those limits is $5. So, you know, not much of a problem for a guy with $1 billion, right? It really is that bad. If you don't think it's that bad, it is that bad. It's just that bad, unfortunately. So, not only are they building these AI data centers without like any legal uh without following the law at all, because the law doesn't exist anymore. I say this to my parents all the time. There are no rules anymore. The concept of rules is gone. You don't have to follow the rules anymore. If you're a billionaire, at least. You know, they can get away with anything. Truly anything. They could kill me. I could be killed. I could be shot. Just executed, you know? In my house. They could just break into my house and shoot me in the head and nothing would happen. Like, this is the sort of situation we're in now. It's that dark in America. Um, so if there's no rules for them to follow anymore, there's nothing stopping them from just ruining everything without consequence. And I don't know how society hasn't exploded at this point and actually done some serious damage. You know? Like, I don't know how there hasn't been a massive rebellion of some sort. I don't understand, you know? Because while my family's well off, there's so many other people that are far more fucked by this entire situation. And it's super depressing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to deal with it, really. I don't know how to deal with the amount of societal damage that has been done. If you think this doesn't permanently affect our futures, you're just wrong. You're terribly wrong. The consequences will be dire. So it's harming marginalized people because they're burning natural gas and polluting the air, but it's also harming them in that it's literally draining their water. That's number 3 in the list of things AI really needs to run. They need a lot of water. Like, an insane amount. So they need a lot of water to run their AI data centers. And, Jesus. They need a lot of water to run their AI data centers. And unfortunately, you might think, and the reason they need the water is to cool all the computer components, because when you do that many calculations, computers get really hot. My computer right now is really hot from me playing this mod pack. It's a laptop though, so that's normal. But AI data centers They don't use air to cool their stuff. They use water cooling. They use liquid coolant to cool their systems. And when you use liquid coolant, the best way to get more liquid coolant is to recycle it. Now, in a computer, in a gaming PC, like what in like a typical gaming PC, that's handled by looping the water around in the PC. It doesn't leave the computer, but you never want to drink the water from your cooling loop. Do not, for for the love of God, guys, do not drink the water that is looping around in your computer. I don't have to say this. I don't have to say this to you. This is something that most human beings probably would never do. I don't think anyone would do this like without being dared to for some reason. But then think about it. What do they do with the water that goes in the AI data centers? Do you think it goes back into the AI data center? No, it doesn't, you fucking idiot. It goes back out into the environment. It goes back out into the environment, into the rivers, which inevitably ends up in someone's water stream. Unfortunately, it's going to end up in someone's sink. And when that happens, they're going to get very fucking sick. This is just a fact. It's just how it is. The water doesn't just go through these AI data centers and pick up nothing. It picks up who knows what from that fucking cooling loop. You don't want to drink your computer's cooling loop now, do you? No. That's why you don't want to drink AI data center water. Same reason. It's really bad for you. And in the case of AI data centers, it's even worse for you because, well, I mean, at least the cooling loop in your computer is designed to make your life better, right? AI data centers are not designed to make our lives better. So that is all the stuff AI needs to run. What is this? I bet he did something incorrect here, but I'll just keep talking while I figure this out. So AI data centers, they need some other stuff to work too. And oh, dude, what am I talking about? No. I also wanted to talk about the fucking climate change shenanigans going on here. It shouldn't be too hard to understand why that's a problem. Um, Wait, what is he making here? It's going to cause significant issues with climate change. I mean, I consider the fucking Zephyr. What? All that gas that's being released by the fucking AI data centers is going to... Yeah, he's just got this recipe completely wrong. I don't know what the hell. Um... AI... Jesus Christ, the brain rot right now. I'm like... I'm tired because I just recorded this video again. Okay. So, it's going to cause climate change to get worse. I shouldn't have to explain why climate change getting worse is bad, but I need to remind you all. When we figured out that climate change was a problem, you know what we did? We did some things. We tried to at least alleviate the issue. We started working on it, you know? And then Trump got into power the first time and he removed all those limitations. And now he's gotten into power the second time and he's done it all again. Everything is bad again. And this time, if you think that we can just... If you think we can just cause climate change, you know, and have it go... It's not going back to normal. It's not going to reverse course. We're going to the end times, you know? So these data centers, not only do they worsen the lives currently, they're also going to make our lives worse in the future due to climate change. I mean, isn't that just insane? that we have to be worried about like future generations getting fucking bombed by a hurricane or something that like destroys the entire East Coast or a super tornado. Like who knows what kind of insane climate shenanigans we're gonna see in the future. But I'm gonna be alive for it. Unless I'm not alive somehow, you know. Maybe I get cancer from the AI data center and I just die. You know, that's something that could happen. But I'm not poor, so. But some of you are poor. Some of you are unfortunately poor. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you weren't born rich, somewhat rich. I'm not like a billionaire or anything, but I currently don't have to worry about money for a bit. For a bit. If the stock market goes too bad, it's gonna be bad. Let's just say that. Um, so in the future, we're all going. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Climate change doesn't care how much money you have. Just saying. So It's not like I'm going to be immune to it if I have money. You can't just. That's not how it works. All of us are going to be cooked when the climate disasters start. And it's not just going to be bad in the sense that it's going to destroy our homes. There's going to be revolutions. There's going to be significant social struggle during that time. There's going to be insane turmoil. Um, People are going to die. People are going to kill each other. It's going to be desperation. Climate change is not good. I shouldn't have to say that. But AI data centers don't give a shit about that. AI companies don't give a shit about that. You're cooked. They're going to cook you alive. They're just going to do that. So it's going to destroy the global environment. Species of animals are going to go extinct. And this is all because of capitalism. It's all because we want to, make more money. The number has to go up infinitely. We can't stagnate, guys. Come on. I mean, really? You think we can stagnate? No. The number has to go up. Elon needs $1 trillion. I mean, he needs it, like, desperately. You ever think about how much money Elon Musk needs in his wallet? Elon Musk wants to do a Mr. Beast video where he gets $1 trillion and puts it in an Olympic-sized swimming pool and then swims in it. He wants to do that Mr. Beast video. Like, Jesus Christ. That's what they're going for now. That's the sort of shit we're talking about here when it comes to significant greed, capitalistic greed. That's the sort of capitalistic greed we're dealing with at this point. So, that's not everything. That's not even everything. I totally forgot about one thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to health issues caused by AI data centers. The sound. This might surprise you that sound is an issue because you don't really think about it that much. You don't really think about sound as a problem that often. But think about what happens when you play loud music. Your ears start hurting. If you've ever been to a concert, I think I've been to one at least one time. I have to have been to one at least one time. The reason I don't like concerts is because they're loud and it hurts my ears. That's sound that you can actually sense. And it causes permanent hearing damage, musicians, they get permanent hearing damage from being in loud concerts all the time because they, have to play the music. The sound produced by AI data centers is both visible and invisible. And you might think that visible is kind of a weird term for sound, but I mean, it kind of makes sense. If you can't see it or hear it, it's basically invisible. The sound these AI data centers release is not just visible. There's invisible sound that is far louder. And it's so loud. Okay. This is a thing that I heard. I was watching a YouTube channel, More Perfect Union. They had a video about Bitcoin mine that was built basically in this rural area. I forget what state it was in. Next to these people's homes. And these people had been living there for decades. They thought they were going to retire. They thought they were going to die in those homes. This Bitcoin mine was so fucking loud that it killed their dog. Their dog died from a heart attack. And that's not it. That's not even the end of it, guys. They're fucking the sound is so loud that is louder than industrial levels. Like if you're working in a factory, you need to wear certain ear protection. And there's laws in place that prevents the sound from getting too loud. Um this Bitcoin mine was making sound louder than sound you'd have in like serious factories. Okay? Serious fucking factories. GregTech level factories, guys. We're talking GregTech level here. The factories we're talking about are like, if children were working in them, there'd be a significant issue. Okay? Significant issue. You don't want your kid hearing that shit, right? Right? So, these factories, this Bitcoin mine was so loud that the sound was causing them to get physically ill. It was causing their heart to have to beat faster. Their heart had to beat faster because the sound interferes with the what is it called? What is that system called? The circulatory system. It makes your heart have to work harder for you to survive. Um and that can cause high blood pressure, can cause heart attacks. I mean, this is a Bitcoin mine, but what a Bitcoin mine does is not different from an AI data center. Both of them make calculations. So both of them produce enormous amounts of noise. And this noise, it will kill you. It will actually fucking kill you, dude. It's scary. It's really scary. So, I think it's time to pivot to the next part, the final part of this video. I want to talk about what our government is doing about this, about all these issues I just pointed out with AI. Why I fucking despise AI at my very core. I hate AI. I hate it. It's going to fucking kill us. I want to talk about the governmental and societal issues. I want to talk about the societal issues first, like the broader philosophical problems. When AI replaces all of us, what what are we going to do for work? You know, are there going to be jobs? Do jobs exist when AI replaces all of us? Like what jobs will exist when AI starts replacing everything? What jobs will be left? And what do we do if there's not enough jobs for everyone? I mean, is that not what's already happening right now? Are we not already in an employment crisis? Are we really not already in an employment crisis, my goofy friend? My goofy friend, you know? Are we not already in an employment crisis? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm not someone who knows the answer to that, but we might be. We might be in an employment crisis already. Um so what happens when AI just starts nuking the jobs? All the jobs are gone. Our jobs are fucking nuked. What do you do? What do you even do at that point? Do you just die? Do you just die from not having enough money to survive? Like, how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? Are we really still going to have the same economy, the same economic system? Are we still not going to have um, social support structures in place? Are we really cooked that hard? Um, I I wrote an essay about this when I was taking philosophy of probably AI. It was probably philosophy of technology or something like that. I had a minor in philosophy and a major in CS, but obviously that is I wouldn't recommend a minor in philosophy. By the way, it makes you think too much, and when you think too much, it makes you depressed. Unfortunately, um, but because I took that minor, I really started thinking about just how significant the uh, the damage will be if AI replaces all the jobs. And if we do not take societal action now, imagine how bad it will be when it fully collapses, when nothing makes sense anymore. Absolutely nothing makes sense anymore. Imagine how bad it will be if we're completely unprepared for that. Just imagine how bad it would be. I can't even imagine it. I don't even have the capacity to imagine all that. It really it really is beyond me at this point. I I don't know. I don't know what I could do as a person to like save us from that and move us forward. That's one of the things that really frustrates me about it is it's so obvious how bad things will get if we don't take action now. It's so obvious how bad it will be. And no one's doing anything. So I think that's a great time to shift over to our vast societal and governmental dysfunction. We as a society, we've fucking failed. We have failed significantly. I am incredibly skeptical of our ability to reverse course on this. I think the damage that has been done at this point is irreversible. I think there's a lot of damage that has been irreversibly caused because of society's unwillingness to actually take action and push us forward. Say, hold on, we need to fucking stop and really think about what we're doing here. Is this really what we want? Do we really want AI data centers powered by nuclear reactors replacing our jobs? Do we really want that? Do we really want to replace every human with robots? Do we really want to do that? Are you guys sure we want to do that? I don't think we want to do that. Who the fuck wants to do that? I don't know who wants to do it. So I'm very confused as to why we are still doing it. If so many of us are opposed to this, why is nothing being done? Well, I think we have to talk about the American government for a brief moment. Not a brief moment. No, it's going to be a long moment. Let's be honest. We have to talk about the government and how deeply broken it is that we have gotten to this point. So, who is running it right now? Well, we have what is basically Epstein Prime in charge. The only reason Epstein Prime is not Epstein is because he's fucking dead. That's why Epstein is not Epstein Prime. So we have Epstein Prime in charge. And he's got all his Epstein cronies. None of them give a shit, okay? Let's face it, most of them are fossils. Most of them are gonna die in like 2 years. There's literally a video where Trump is in the same room as a guy who has a heart attack, and he's like, that guy's like a fucking fossil in of himself. Trump's just there, and he's like, oh yeah, that's just casual. People die all the time. To him, someone having a heart attack is just normal. Crazy shit, okay? The Democratic majority leader is also a fossil, so he's gotta go. If you're a fossil, let me just say, um, let me make this extremely clear why people being fossils is a problem. If you're a fossil, it means that you're going to die before the repercussions of your political failings come into play. If you're a fossil, it's going to be a few. You're going to be dead before the climate holocaust happens. Unfortunately, unfortunately, for us, you'll be dead. I would be very happy if you were still alive during the climate holocaust so you could witness what you caused. Um, So the fossils don't care what happens to the next generations because they're going to die. However, there's one fossil, and you know what? I'm gonna say it. Not a fossil because he actually has a brain. Um, One person in government who is old, who actually gives a shit. That is Bernie Sanders. I saw a video on Bernie's YouTube channel. He uploads so much content on that channel. Um, and some of it isn't like well executed. The video I'm talking about, there was like music playing in the background that was frankly too loud. Um, he uploads videos all the time, and he actively rallies for change. He has always been consistent in his views as a senator, and I'm just I feel bad for him. Like he's he's old enough that he should be at home with his family. I think he has one. Assuming he has one, he should be home resting. But he's in our government, desperately trying to course correct while no one else is listening. No one else is listening because they're all paid not to listen. None of them care. None of them give any shits what happens to us because they're all paid not to. And since they're being paid enough, they're like, oh, well, I can just go over to fucking Tahiti or something and just do nothing. I can just be useless. I can be a fossil in government. That's great. I can be a fossil while everyone else is cooked. And so I have a massive amount of respect for Bernie because he's currently pushing for an AI memorandum. And while I don't think it's going to do anything, I have to say, at least he's trying, right? What else can he do? He can't do shit. Because no one else is doing shit, right? No one else in government gives a fuck. That, besides maybe AOC and a few others, you know? The amount of people who give a fuck compared to the amount that don't give a fuck is like 5%, you know? 5% of the government, maybe 1% even, gives a fuck. The rest are just there because they can be. It's money for them. It's all about the money. It's all about being a part of the capitalist system, getting their money from the capitalists so that they can make laws that make the capitalists make more money. So the government, I don't even need to expand on why it's just utterly dysfunctional. If the memorandum passes, I will be surprised. If it passes, I will be surprised. I will be extremely surprised. I'll be like, I would think I got teleported to a different timeline if Congress does anything past the memorandum. And even then, they can't do anything because we don't live in a democracy anymore. We live in a fucking authoritarian crisis right now. Trump would probably do something to stop AI from being limited, all we know, for all we know. And then the Supreme Court would say, "Oh yeah, well that's illegal what you did," but they'll come to that conclusion months after he makes that decision. So you know, by then the damage will already have been done, and the damage has already been done, guys. The damage has been done. The damage has been done. My future has been cooked because of greed, capitalistic greed. Your future has been cooked. Everyone's futures has been cooked. We're all cooked. The next generations are even more cooked because they will have to deal with the side effects of our generation's failings. You know, Gen Z, if we don't fucking lock in the kids you produce, which I think we shouldn't be producing kids. I'll say that in another video. I'll talk about that shit in another video. That's for another time. Gen Z, if you don't fucking lock in and stop this shit, if we don't come together somehow and stop this shit, I mean, there's not going to be a world for Gen Alpha and Gen Beta and Gen insert Greek symbol here. There's not going to be a fucking There's not be a fucking world for them. So I think with that, I've ranted enough. It's time to conclude. So, yeah, AI sucks. If you're using AI for school assignments, fuck you. I fucking hate you. Please stop. Not only are you ruining your own life because you're getting stupider doing it, you're ruining the lives of others because you're giving these companies permission to keep developing their fucking slop. You're going to be a scourge in the workplace. You're going to make everyone's lives harder, frankly. Let's see, what else? Don't use AI. If you're a Minecraft developer, please stop using AI. I beg of you. I beg. You're you you really suck if you do that. Maybe use it to generate documentation. Okay. Actually, no. Sorry, guys. I temporarily forgot that I hate AI because my brain has been so corrupted by AI society. Do not use AI. Please. Please, I need to repeat this. Do not use AI. I have to repeat it for myself too. I'm gonna have to install a extension to stop me from even using the Google AI when I do it accidentally. What else? They're replacing us, and when they replace you, they're not gonna care. They don't care what job you get, if you even get one. You probably won't because they won't exist anymore because of all of that shit. They're replacing us. If you're poor, I'm sorry. I really sympathize with you. There is a world where I could have been poor too. I could have been born poor as well. I'm so sorry that if you're one of these people who is living near one of these data centers, I sincerely apologize because it is the rich who have created that. And I'm unfortunately close enough to that class. I'm like not 1%, but I'm 0.01% or something maybe. I don't know. I don't know what percentage I am. Maybe wait, no. 0.01 is even worse. Oh fuck. I don't know. I don't know what percentage I am, but I'm above 50. That's all that matters. Um if you live near an AI data center, I am deeply I don't even know what to say. It must suck. It must fucking suck. Uh if you care about climate change, which I do because I will live to see the disasters from it. Yeah. Um it's depressing, man. And if you're Bernie Sanders and you're watching this video, hi. Uh sorry you have to deal with this shit still. I uh I don't know what it will take for my generation to get control of our government. And if you're if you're depressed about AI data centers taking all our jobs and ruining everything, remember, it's not a fucking chemical imbalance. Society is simply built wrong. It is not designed for humans. It's designed for lizard people at the top of government who just want money, and that's it. If you have lots of money, you're fine. You can go to Tahiti, you can go to insert place here. You're free. But some people aren't free. Some are freer than others. AI isn't freedom. It's prison. It's going to imprison us in our own dumbness. So I don't know what else to say now. I think the video's over. I hope this resonated with someone. I hope this at least shows that someone cares. I think more of us need to just start saying what's on our minds. Um, Chances are the algorithm will push this to a bunch of people. I know that the algorithm likes clickbaity titles. I'm gonna have something like hate AI, period, and then I'll have like a image that is clickbaity. I do want this video reaching people. Most of the videos on my channel I make solely for the purpose of recording stuff. I did the Beat Saber content because I like playing Beat Saber. I did um I've done some Minecraft development content. I've done a lot of content. I did some Naga because it was fun. I I make videos on this channel for fun, but it also needs to be it's serious now. It really is serious what's happening to us. It's really fucking serious. So, with that being said, maybe I'll upload another serious video sometime. I'll talk about some other subjects that I'm passionate about. philosophically, you know. I won't be I'll be preachy like I was here. And yeah, I hope one day our world can just be pretty like this one is, you know? I hope that our world doesn't end up looking disgusting like that or disgusting like that. I hope that it's not a fucking mess by the time I die. I hope so. All right. That's about it. See you again soon.